Hello, YouTube. All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of This Old RV. We are in process of restoring this, I think it's a 1995 Four Winds RV that I had bought for $1,200. Last time we were here, we cleaned out the front cab area, vacuumed it with our little Sharper Image $5 vacuum that we got from Goodwill. You can see it looks fairly clean now up at the front. I have started to organize the overhead bunker just for storage right now. And the plan today is to hit this section. If I have my way, I'll have both the sofa side here done as well as the dining side. I'm just planning on cleaning all this up, straightening it out, organizing it, and making it so it looks presentable. But not only looks presentable, but it actually becomes usable. That way when I come here, I start to not feel so overwhelmed. So I'm going to go through and try to organize things and find storage and put things up. And then work my way back to the kitchen, clean this up, straighten it up a little bit more. And then on back to the bedroom. Although I may try to hit in between, there's like no set order, but I may try to hit all those buckets that are in the... There's a bunch of buckets inside the bathroom. I don't know if you guys remember all these buckets here. These plastic bins. They are a pain. So I got to go through all of them. Although I got rid of one bucket earlier. So we'll see if we can't get this RV into basically habitable status again. Have it nice and clean. And then once that's done, I'm going to continue some more repairs. Try to get the panels here over the door. Get the wood panel here, you know, to match this other wood grain paneling, just to have it somewhat even. Then we're going to paint everything. And that's pretty much it. I will probably try to replace that wall there, somehow make a false wall, but also deal with the leaking roof. You know, it's not leaking too badly, but try to seal whatever leaks there are left, as well as the bathroom leak, which is a major issue with the bathroom. You know, it leaked on our floor. Remember, it was leaking from underneath. It only leaks on the floor when you hook it up to city water. The pressure makes it leak up. So I don't want to rip up that floor unless I have to. I've been using the RV without using the... I use the city water, but I put it into the tank, the storage tank of the RV, versus plugging it in directly. See, the RV has two connections. One for you plug the... You get a hose and you hook up the city water to your RV, and then, you know, the city water flows through your RV like it would a house. But the pressure was causing it to leak back there, so we're not going to be able to do that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start working. You guys like watching me work? If you do, maybe I'll set the camera up so you can kind of watch me. But really, I kind of need to assess what I'm going to do. The main thing I think I need to do, this is our little handy-dandy assistant here that's going to be filming for us. The main thing I need to do, really, is kind of figure out how I'm gonna deal with all this stuff. I still have some peanuts they gave me from work, which I might try to eat. I have some mail that I need to go through. This is actually... it's like a vehicle registration. Yeah. This is a vehicle registration for this vehicle, so I need to put that up where I can access it. But I need to clean all this stuff up and sort things out. I don't think you guys really need to see me doing that, so maybe I'll just show you updates. And then, you know, as I see cool things like my family pictures and stuff, I might point it out a little bit. I know the camera doesn't show it, but it is like hot out here. This is Florida, even though it's winter, it is hot. So what I'm going to do is try to turn that fan on right here. This is my 12-volt fan that's hooked. Works. It's hooked into the RV's 12-volt system, which is still connected and working. So I'll have this fan circulating air at least. You know, it'd be nice if I could do this with the AC running, but without a generator or 120-volt power, you know, that's not going to happen. But at least I have the fan blowing, I got it circulating air, and when it hits me, it's really cool. So I may sit down somewhere and just have it pointed at me while I sort through the trash. Well, it's not trash, but some of it's going to end up being trash. one of the hardest things I'm dealing with right now is just getting motivated to do it. It's hot. I think it's probably in the 80s today in Florida. But I think what I'm going to do is try to organize it by section. This battery is bad. This is one of the original batteries that came with the RV. So it's going to have to be replaced. But I'm going to save it because when you go to get a new battery, they charge you more money if you don't have a battery to swap it out. So you take an old beat up battery and you can save yourself, I think, like $10 or $15. So we're going to save that battery because I'm planning on eventually buying more house batteries. Debating if I want to get 200 amp hours or 400 amp hours. If I get 400 amp hours, it may be enough to run the refrigerator and stuff, you know, if I keep it charged up on the alternator every day. The problem is, if you have a vehicle and you don't run it all the time and charge your batteries up, they die over time. And then if they die, then when you go to charge it again, it doesn't want to hold a charge. So I could end up buying 400 amp hours, which is going to be about $600 worth of batteries. And then it dies because I'm not living in the RV and using it every day. So I'm kind of holding off on that. You would do something like have a battery bank if you were living there and using it every day, so you could monitor it and keep it charged. If you were going to put your vehicle in storage and you bought batteries and you didn't keep it charged every day and monitor it, there's a likelihood that when you go to use it, it won't work. The battery has died, you know, drained. So these are some of my tools. They're not expensive or anything, but they are tools that I had with Little Blue, a little jigsaw, a little cordless drill. So I'm just going to set this aside for now, just so I'll have them, because I'm going to do a little tool section where I store everything. I think in my head right now, I'm just mentally trying to figure out where everything's going to go, and that's why I'm kind of delayed right now, trying to look at everything and say, I think I'm going to have a little tool section over here, a little paint section over here, because I'm getting ready to paint, so I got to put all these supplies where I can access them. This is scrap, you know, stereo stuff, so, and then old mail, junk mail, so I got to go through all this stuff, but I'll put all the tools into like a little spot, so that's, I guess, a strategy to help me get going, even though it looks like I'm making more of a mess, because I'm putting, you know, I'm not really cleaning up, I'm kind of just moving things, but it will help me organize. The key is finding a spot where the tools can go that makes logical sense so that you can access it. Some of these tools I'm going to want to put into Little Blue because I still, you know, I'm living in that right now, so I may need the tools, and it'd be nice to have them handy. So some of it I will move into there, but the RV really is the house. You know, it's going to have all the majority of the storage and everything, so I got to start thinking like that. I got to figure out what I'm going to do underneath here, because there's storage underneath the sofa that becomes a bed, and I could put stuff in there once I clean that out and straighten that out. So we'll take a look. You know, the sad thing is, as I start to make the piles and stuff, part of me says, you know, you should go pick up some of those bins from Walmart, the little plastic tubs. Then you can put all your tools in a bin, you can put all your electronics in a bin, you can put all your stuff in a bin and go through it later. Then I'm reminded that I have bins, tubs of those bins, sitting in the bathroom. It's really easy to get the bins and toss stuff in there and then forget about it. And then you never go through it. So I'm fighting the urge to get a box or bin and put things into the bin. I'm trying to put things into that trash bag, yeah, so I can throw things away. But this is what the bed looks like. You know, it's a sofa that becomes a bed. For those of you who aren't familiar with how it works, I did assemble the whole thing. Remember, it was all part and pieces were everywhere. Let me try to remember how to work this. I'll put it here for those of you who have a unit like this and you don't know how to work it. It basically becomes a bed. I'll show you how it all works here in a minute once I get the camera mounted. But you have to kind of lift it. I forget how this works, but I think you lift it up, and then it goes out and down. And that's it. And it becomes like a bed, just like that. Isn't that cool? So it becomes like a little bed, and then you just put you just put your sheets and stuff on top of it. My daughter sleeps on here, you know, or my son when they come to visit. So it's like another little bed, and then it folds back up. But see, there's like storage under here, but I don't know how you're supposed to get to the storage. So, because the thing doesn't really flip completely open, it flips partially open. So, storage is kind of limited, you know, under there, because you can't just flip the whole seat up. The whole thing doesn't open up the way you would think it would, like a lid. It opens up like a partial lid, and that makes it not that useful, which is making me think eventually you might end up tearing apart this whole sofa and building my own, because the way it works right now, I think it kind of sucks. One, you can see the bed's not really level. You know, one side's a little bit bigger than the other because of the cushion not being the same size, thickness. The other problem is accessing underneath, because there's like about a foot of storage. It's raised up about a foot. So there's storage under there that you can store stuff if you can access it, but accessing that storage with the way it is right now, it's kind of difficult. Alright, so I do have the seat partially lifted. As you can see, there's storage that you can access under here, but it's like limited in what you can access. So I don't know how useful this storage is right here, other than if I make drawers here that slide out. That would make more sense. So I might end up replacing this front panel and making drawers that come out. Because the way it is right now, you know, it's hard to tell. See how it's angled like this? That's about as high as you can get it to flip up. You know, it doesn't go up any higher. And so you got a diagonal, and then you got to like stick your hand through that crack to try to access it. So I'm thinking an upgrade for me really is to replace this front panel. So what I will do eventually, I'm not going to put storage in there yet because it's too hard to access. You can see it has all the storage that goes all the way back here, but can't get to it. So if I remove this front panel and put in my custom one, or leave it open, you know, and put drawers or whatever under there, maybe cut some custom drawers, then you can just slide drawers in and out and store things. That would be a lot more useful and a lot less of a pain in the butt than this is right now, trying to access that storage, because it's not that useful the way it is right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put the bench back up and set it back up as a bench, and then proceed with cleaning, because here we are 12 minutes, 13 minutes into the video, and we still haven't cleaned anything. We're making a bigger mess. Alright, I went ahead and got the sofa back together somewhat. There's that bed spread there, that fitted sheet as a cover for now, so I can just kind of chill a little bit and sit on it under my nice blowing fan while I contemplate what to do. Stay tuned.